Namaste, my name is Sanat Kumar. Welcome back to the Manana podcast. Manana is a Sanskrit word that means reflection or contemplation. In this podcast, I'll be sharing my deep, insightful reflections for you to contemplate and hence live a life of fulfillment. I hope you find great value in today's episode. In the last episode, we saw Advaita relative to Dvaita, and mainly we saw how Advaita and Dvaita are not opposites, and we saw where all Advaita can be explained through various different views. You may say there are two concentric circles, Advaita being the outer radius circle, right? To understand Advaita, it's very essential to know what it is not. So, in this episode, I'll be busting some myths about Advaita. Myth number one: an Advaitic life will be boring, depressing, and lifeless. In fact, it will be the opposite of all that. Isn't it interesting to unravel who you truly are? And don't you think that knowing that you are beyond just body and mind is liberating? And isn't that knowing a fulfilled life? And that's what Advaita is. Myth number two: Advaita is the worship of Lord Shiva as the epicenter rather than Lord Vishnu. Far from truth. The Advaitic way, in fact, does not require you to worship any deity. However, it is not prohibited either. And of course, you have to worship any deity because you need the assistance of such great power to understand Advaita, to understand the reality. So you may worship any deity of your choice. The segregation of Jiva and God, Sadguna Parabrahma, exists only in the transactional reality. And Advaita is not bothered about transactional reality. It is talking about the absolute reality. It's only bothered about absolute reality, about that. Myth number three: Advaita discards the existence of God. No, it does not. Why would Jagadguru Sri Shankaracharya write so many slokas on various deities from Govinda to Devi? If he discarded the existence of God, why would he do that? His hymns clearly show how grateful and out of pure heart he's praying the Lord. I don't know. Just go and listen to his compositions or just read them. How do you see non-genuineness in it? It is so genuine. It's so heart-filled, right? He's praising the Lord heart-filled. As I mentioned in the last point, Sadguna Parabrahma or God distinctly exists in the transactional reality. And it's just that Advaita emphasizes less on worshipping, rituals, etc. And again, it's not that any of it is prohibited. In the Advaitic view, worshipping a deity, rituals, etc. are all great tools to attain the balance you require to understand the ultimate. That is your self. You might call it the Brahman, or as Buddhism says, it is nothingness. Myth number four: Advaita discards Dvaita. No, we already saw that in the last episode. Even the beacons of light who re-established Sanatana Dharma in perspective of their choice, if Shankaracharya and Madhvacharya who propagated Dvaita, if they both came together, do you think they would fight each other or even have a heated debate? No. They would in fact try to solve the confusion in people's minds together and show their mercy on those people who are not able to understand that they both are representing truths individually. Wouldn't they? They both were great people, godly great. That's why people even worship them. Only half boiled, confused people fight over Dvaita and Advaita. Okay, it's not at all something you should fight over. Myth number five: Aham Brahmasmi, translate to I am God. This cannot be far from truth. This is not the meaning of that statement at all. And it is probably, yeah, it is easily understandable that way, but it is not the real meaning of that. Because Brahmasmi is not referring to God. Brahma there is not the Brahma you know as Chaturmukha Brahma. That is different. It conveys the meaning that I am the Brahman, and Brahman here is not the Lord Brahma. It is the eternal consciousness within all of us, even in the gods, the Brahman. So here, knowing the clear distinction between Nirguna, the formless, and Sadguna, good or virtuous, becomes essential. You may read my blog 7 God, or you can listen to the corresponding podcast. Myth 6: Jagan Mithya, translate to world is false. Again, this is one of the greatest misconceptions in understanding Advaita. It's probably mainly due to the word mithya having the meaning false or lie in Kannada. But this mithya here is a Sanskrit word which means maya, that is delusion. And that's a maker or a breaker kind of distinction. What Jagadguru Sri Shankaracharya is trying to convey is the absolute reality. There is nothing but the consciousness, the Brahman, at that level, right? All the world we see is a transactional reality. Sri Shankaracharya's statement is made at the level of that understanding. People cannot misinterpret it by staying at this transactional level of understanding. And when everything is the Brahman, what we are seeing with our eyes isn't it delusion in that perspective? Again, all I can do is provide the questions and reflections to ponder. You are free to think and understand in your own way. I hope you received excellent value in today's episode. To know more, head over to sanatkumarnebi.com, and if you haven't already, check out my book The Flower of Fulfillment. Thank you for listening, and I wish you have a great day.